Hello everybody, and welcome back to my journey to gathering every Trackmania Track of the Day author medal. Starting us out in volume 19 today, and for my 470th author medal, we have the track Rel 5015, which was made by Pecorenzo, and this was the track of the day on June 25th of 2022. Rel is a dirt track in which over 1,600 players have the author medal on, so going to be a little bit easier than average here. The author medal time of 41.675 took me 8 minutes to achieve, finishing with my time of 41.574. Overall, I thought this was a decent track, but it can be a little bit more tricky than the amount of players who have the author medal makes it seem, because there is a lot of driving up slopes on this one with turns immediately after. Kind of obscures those turns a little bit, so your timing is going to be a little bit challenging there, but once you learn it, it's not too bad. Next up, for author medal 471, we have the track Ecume, which was made by Hesto, and this was the track of the day on April 28th of 2021. Ecume is a mixed track, and about 1,200 players have the author medal here, which is a bit surprising because the track does have a fairly easy cut. It's also a rather short track, coming in with an author medal time of 35.158, and with that cut, it only took me 5 minutes to get this one, finishing with a 34.738. Honestly, I don't have a ton to say about this track in general. The route was somewhat on the unique side, so I'll give it that, but again, unfortunately, it does have that cut, but overall, it was a good track. My 472nd author medal came on the track Learn to Fly, which was made by Madhu, and this was a early track of the day, releasing on December 13th of 2020. Learn to Fly is a speed fun track in which about 1,300 players have the author medal on, so again, a bit easier than average here, though the author medal time on this one is a bit longer than average, coming in at 52.647 seconds, and it took me just 5 minutes to drive that author medal with my finishing time of 52.097. This was unfortunately a track that I don't really care for. I don't really care for reactor boost in this game in general, but a track fully revolved around the reactor boost and getting random amounts of speed from the Zoops is definitely not a track for me. So if you like that sort of thing, you'll probably like this track, but again, personally, just not a type of track I care to drive. Next up, for author medal 473, we have the track Blueberry Yogurt, which was made by Doogie MD, and this was the track of the day on July 8th of 2023. Blueberry Yogurt is a mixed track, and only about 900 players have the author medal here, and while not the most challenging author medal ever, this is going to be the hardest one I got in today's video. It also happens to be my favorite from today's video. It comes in with an author medal time of 44.15 seconds, which took me 10 minutes to drive, finishing with my time of 44.115. This was a rather enjoyable track here, but there are some tricky sections in this one, and ones that you just gotta trust that are going to work, especially an early one with a snow patch right in front of an outside dirt line. Again, really gotta trust that it's gonna work. My 474th author medal came on the track Looping Through Spring, which was made by Gorilla, and this was the track of the day on July 1st of 2024. Looping Through Spring is an LOL track in which about 1,800 players have the author medal on, but that can be a bit deceptive with how much randomness there is in this track. A very quick author medal time here, coming in at 13.973 seconds, which took me 12 minutes to achieve, finishing with a 12.912. I mean, what's there really to say about this track? I mean, at least you do have a little bit of control over your car, but for the most part, it's going to be a very random track, and you're really just going to be hoping and praying for the best here. For an LOL track, it's okay. My 475th author medal came on the track Tunnel Vision, which was made by Biobolical, and this was the track of the day on July 4th of 2024. Tunnel Vision is another mixed track, and over 2,500 players have the author medal here, and this is going to be the easiest one from today's video. It comes in with an author medal time of 41.208 seconds, which only took me 5 minutes to achieve, finishing with my time of 41.101. I honestly didn't think this was as bad of a track, as the community really hated on this one, giving it a minus. Was it the most perfect track in the world? Did the tunnels work the greatest? No, not really, but it wasn't really that bad of a track. In my opinion, it was not. Up next for Author Medal 476, we have the track Lost Ruins, which was made by Sloop Coggle, and this was another recent track of the day, releasing on July 2nd of 2024. Lost Ruins is a grass track, and about 1,100 players have this Author Medal so far, but I do believe it is a bit more challenging than that would suggest. It took me just 7 minutes to drive the Author Medal on this one, in which the time was 46.965, and my finishing time was 46.874. I thought this was a fairly good track here, and probably my second favorite out of today's video. Some of the turns can be a little bit tricky, however, keeping the gearing or getting good gearing out of. There's also some interesting lines you can possibly take on this one with some bug slides. The last I saw, the world record doing bug slides in those turns, so very interesting there. I did not go for those, but the option is there. My 477th Author Medal came on the track Drift City, which was made by the Alavir, and this was the track of the day on October 25th of 2020. Drift City is a tech track, and about 1,900 players were also able to achieve this one, so it's going to be a bit on the easier side here, and the Author Medal time of 40.342 seconds only took me 2 minutes to achieve, with my finishing time of 40.336. I found both the routes and the scenery on this one to be fairly simplistic, and for the time period, honestly, that's a perfectly fine thing and even a normal thing. Honestly, wouldn't even mind more tracks nowadays kind of having this style. I feel like a large majority of them now are fairly overdone. Next up, for my 478th Author Medal, we have the track Escape Hills, which was made by Jacker G, and this was the track of the day on December 29th of 2020. Escape Hills is a speed tech track, and about 1,000 players have this Author Medal as well. The Author Medal here comes in a bit longer than average at 49.203 seconds, and it took me just 11 minutes to get that Author Medal, with my finishing time being a 48.852. I honestly did not really care for this track all that much, and there are a couple of reasons for this. The first of which is that it's just kind of a very boring track. There's just a lot of straight lines with nothing going on, and at the end of pretty much every single one of those straight lines is a blind turn, and at the end of the track there's also a blind jump. So yeah, just not all that much fun. And ending us off here with my 479th Author Medal, we have the track Viking Village, which was made by Nugu, and this was the track of the day on April 26th of 2021. Viking Village is a mixed track, and about 1,300 players were able to drive the Author Medal time here, which comes in at 47.646 seconds. It took me just 13 minutes to drive this one, finishing with my time of 47.588. I found the first half of this track to be somewhat enjoyable, but when it comes to the later half of it, that kind of gets thrown out the window. We have a long blind drift during this section, which you can also very easily get a no slide in, and towards the finish we have a risky blind path that you can take, which is not a great solution in my opinion. So yeah, I hate to end it off here on a negative note and have a third minus track in the video, but unfortunately that is the case. But with that, we will conclude volume number 19 here today. Of course, if you're interested in driving any of the tracks you saw here today, there'll be links in the description to all of them, and you can also find them in my in-game club called Club Teuty. I hope you enjoyed today's video as well. If you did, be sure to like it and subscribe so you don't miss out on any in the future. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you all here next Sunday with volume number 20.